I know. The last thing you guys want is a video talking about the coronavirus. You guys don't hear it enough, right? But this video is really focused on the impact that it could potentially have on the video game industry, and that's what my channel's all about, so it's something that I kind of have to talk about, but I'm not going to talk too much about the virus itself, except to say that we're all going to be fine. Don't panic. The next couple of months are going to be tough for all of us, but think about it this way. There's always a silver lining for everything. This is the one time in your life, and this opportunity will never come again. This is the one time where sitting around playing video games all day and completely shutting yourself off from society, this is the one time in your life that this will be socially acceptable. So take advantage of that. You got a backlog of 20 games that you never got around to finish. Now is your opportunity. Do it now, because you'll never get that chance again. I mean, these types of viruses is like something that happens once every 100 years. These serious pandemics, global pandemics. The last time we had anything close to this was the Spanish flu, and that was over 100 years ago. So an opportunity like this will never come again in your life. And that's the thing about the video game industry. It's actually going to be one of the industries that's actually going to be doing quite well during this epidemic. I mean, look at the other entertainment industries that we have. Look at Hollywood. Look at the movie industry, where these movies have to be delayed because, well, the movie theaters are closed. But even if they weren't closed, who the hell's going to want to go to a crowded theater during a virus outbreak? So these movies are being delayed up to a full year. Like the Fast and Furious movie was supposed to come out next month. Now it's April of 2021. A lot of TV shows also have to suspend production because of the virus, and they didn't even finish their entire filming, like all the episodes and the production of all the episodes. So a lot of seasons are going to just abruptly end with no satisfying conclusion to them. Just be prepared for that if you have a favorite TV show that it might not even get a season finale. And the sports industry has definitely been hit the hardest out of all different types of entertainment because all the seasons have been suspended. I mean, these sports rely on crowds and rely on filling up stadiums, and if you can't do that, where's the money going to be? And the players themselves are being tested positive for the coronavirus. So, yeah, this is definitely the darkest time in history to be a sports fan. Absolutely. The thing about gaming, though, is what the hell are people going to do when they're under lockdown, when they can't work, they can't do anything else, and they're just sitting home all day? Especially younger people like me who don't have children, who aren't tied down, like we don't have big families or anything like that. So you can't just sit all day and playing board games. Even if you are, how long before you're bored out of your mind and you want to kill everybody that lives in your house? So escaping into a virtual world for a bit actually sounds like a really good prospect for a lot of these people who are just losing their minds already, and this isn't even the beginning of what's going to happen here. Just look at Steam right now. They have the highest concurrent player base in history. Steam's been around for a long time. They reached 20 million concurrent players, which is a record. And that record's probably going to continue to break because of the more and more people that are getting laid off, that are stuck at home. Playing video games sounds really good, and I think the gaming industry is actually going to do quite well compared to other industries, especially in entertainment, that are not doing so well. Now, there are going to be some negative effects, right? So we've already seen it with conventions like E3 getting canceled, and yeah, I mean, E3 has kind of been dying for the past couple years, but it's still a big event. It's one of the biggest events in gaming. And that and other similar events had to be canceled because of the virus outbreak. You couldn't have large gatherings. And that's definitely going to hurt a lot of the smaller conferences, a lot of the smaller conventions that it really depends on how well they do one year to keep the lights on the next year to keep doing it again. So you might have a lot of smaller conferences and conventions getting shut down for good because canceling it for just that one year can hurt them so much financially that they might not be able to keep doing it anymore. Because it's not like they get refunded for the venue and everything that they set up. Like that's on them to make up all that lost money and take the financial loss. For example, in the wrestling world, WrestleMania is a big event. It didn't get canceled, but it's moved to an event with 0 people in attendance. It's just going to be an empty arena or whatever. But there's also WrestleCon, because WrestleMania is like the biggest wrestling thing of the year. WrestleCon is a big fan festival for wrestling fans, and the guy who runs it said, if this is closed because of coronavirus, if we can't do this, then I'm going to have to sell my house. So that's a thing we're seeing, like when it comes to expos, conventions, and things like that, across the board, no matter what industry we're talking about. I mean, that's going to be, they're going to take a really big hit, obviously. And in the long term, games are probably going to get delayed. I mean, because if people are developing games right now, if developers are working on a game and they have a specific timetable, they might be under quarantine. I know it's a lot easier to work from home when it comes to making a video game than, let's say, producing a TV show. So you might not have that to be as bad as other industries with delays and all that. But you still might see a few delays, not a whole bunch of them. Doom Eternal, I mean, this is great for Bethesda. The coronavirus is amazing for them because now a lot of people are going to buy Doom Eternal than they probably would have if they weren't stuck at home and had nothing else to do. So a lot of these new releases, a lot of these summer releases, you know, it's usually a pretty dead time in the gaming industry, are actually going to do quite well. And the flip side to the argument is, well, how long are people going to sustain themselves after not working for 2 or 3 months, however long this is going to last? They're saying it's going to be July, August. They're prepared for an 18-month crisis. And I think that's a bit of a stretch. I don't think this whole thing's going to last a year and a half. I think that's pushing it a little bit. And as far as the consoles are concerned, I don't think they're going to be delayed at all. I think what they're going with, they're going to stick with it. If it's November, early December, October, whenever these consoles are going to come out, we still don't have an exact release date, but I don't think this is going to change because I am confident that by the time we reach like the middle or the end of summer, this whole thing is going to be over, and the economy is going to boom because the demand is going to be so high for everything because we've been stuck inside, cooped up in our house for all this time. Now it's time to get back out there and put money into the economy. So Microsoft and Sony are not going to push that back because they're going to want to take advantage of that. But maybe as a consequence, people are going to play so many video games over the next few months, they don't want to buy a new console and get involved in all that again. But you might also have new video game addicts, you know, it could go either way, but I think this is ultimately a good thing for the gaming industry, although it's not a good thing for the world and not a good thing for humanity overall, this whole epidemic. But if you're in the stock market, I would say buy when it comes to video game stocks, because all those stocks are going to explode in price very soon. They're going to actually do very well compared to the rest of the stock market. And let's face it, a lot of these people who are going to get the government checks in the coming months because of the virus, they're going to spend it on video games. A lot of these people are going to spend it on entertainment because they're going to lose their minds otherwise, right? Like, the social isolation is not natural for humans. We can't be just cooped up in a house for months. It's not in our nature. Anyway, I hope you all stay safe and healthy. This is going to be a tough time, but we're all going to get through it. Don't panic. Stay calm. And I also have to shout out people who are working in healthcare right now, people who are stocking shelves at the grocery stores. I mean, these are the two most important jobs that are keeping everything together right now, and they're working so hard, and they're doing a very important job. You all deserve a lot of respect. But for the rest of us who have always been saying, I always wanted to write that book, I always wanted to start that YouTube channel, I always wanted to do this, I always wanted to do that, but I just don't have the time for it. I'm so busy. Well, this is the time to do all those things that you say you haven't had the time to do. Now you got nothing but time, so there's no more excuses. Do it. Just do it.